Serbia defends Novak Djokovic amid disrespectful backlash. The controversy surrounding Novak Djokovic's exit from the Australian Open continues to dominate headlines, with Serbia Davis Cup captain Viktor Troicki offering a scathing critique of how the tennis star was treated. Djokovic was booed off the court after withdrawing from his semi-final match against Alexander Zverev due to injury, prompting some to question whether the 24-time Grand Slam champion had exaggerated the severity of his condition. Among the skeptics was tennis legend John McEnroe, who expressed doubt about Djokovic's injury after his quarterfinal victory over Carlos Alcaraz. In response, Djokovic posted an image of an MRI scan confirming a muscle tear, aiming to silence his critics. Troicki, a longtime friend of Djokovic, has now spoken out, describing the treatment his compatriot received in Australia as disrespectful. "They were booing him after the injury, which I don't think happens in any sport," Troicki said. "Not even in soccer, where the crowd is normally more wild. When someone gets injured in soccer, even an opponent, they applaud and wish them well. That's why it was so surprising, especially in a place where Novak has played his best tennis and won 10 titles, that he was booed after an injury. It was really disrespectful and disappointing." Troicki also pointed out that this reaction marked a shift in the Australian crowd's attitude toward Djokovic. They used to admire his results and greet him with more respect. Now, they're booing him, which didn't happen before. "It's shocking to see this happening where he's had so much success." Djokovic responds to the crowd's reaction during his press conference in Melbourne. Djokovic addressed the crowd's jeers and remarks delivered to Serbian media. "I don't know what to say. People paid for tickets expecting a great match and a big fight, which they didn't get," he said. "From that perspective, I can understand their frustration. I try to understand them, but I'm not sure they understand me, or even want to. I know my body, what I feel, and how much I've given to this tournament over the past 20-plus years. I'll stop here before I say something I shouldn't." Troicki criticizes broadcasters' comments. Troicki also weighed in on the backlash against Australian broadcaster Tony Jones, who mocked Djokovic and his fans during a viral TV segment. Jones later issued an apology, but Troicki was unimpressed. "If I had hired that journalist, I would have fired him straight away. He would never work in sports again," Troicki said. "Mocking an athlete during a tournament is unacceptable. An apology isn't enough. He should be banned for life from covering tennis." Troicki expressed his frustration with what he sees as worsening treatment of Djokovic in Australia, referencing the star's controversial deportation during the COVID-19 pandemic. "It's disappointing to see the greatest player of all time facing so much negativity in Australia. After COVID, it has never been the same." Looking ahead despite the drama, Troicki's immediate focus is leading Serbia in their Davis Cup tie against Denmark in Copenhagen. Without the injured Djokovic, Serbia faces a tough challenge, especially with young star Holger Rune set to compete for Denmark. For now, Djokovic's hopes of adding a Davis Cup victory to his legacy remain on hold.